Hello everyone, we are back with another episode of Thoughtful Leaders, an initiative under Thoughts on Education by collegedunia.com. Today we are having Professor Dr. Rakesh Sharma, Vice Chancellor of Graphic Era University with us. So I'll start with introducing him formally. An IFS officer. Professor Dr. Rakesh Sharma has over 20 years of rich experience in the area of educational administration as Joint Commissioner, Navodaya Vidyalaya Samiti, Director Central, Tibetan School Administration, Advisor I, AICT, and Registrar, IIT Delhi. He sought VRS at the level of Principal Chief Conservator of Forests while holding the assignment of Education Secretary, Government of Himachal Pradesh, to join Graphic Era Team to be University. Dr. Rakesh Sharma is also associated with Dakshina Foundation as advisor, an organization which has helped thousands of bright and impoverished students from rural India find success in IIT and medical entrance examinations. Welcome, sir.
Thank you, Kunal. Thank you.
Okay, sir. So, let's begin with the interview, sir. So, you have held key positions at various educational institutes throughout your professional career. So, what are your key factors that keep you connected with the higher education?
You see, I started my career as an assistant professor in biochemistry in a university. I spent 2 years before I got induction into 1984 batch of Indian Forest Services.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, it so happened that when I applied for central deputation, I got a posting as director in Ministry of Human Resource Development,
Mm-hmm.
and a posting as joint commissioner in a very important school organization known as Navodaya Vidyalaya Samiti.
Right.
This organization at that time managed around 500 institutions, one in each district, with students drawn primarily from poor strata of the society belonging to rural areas. And it gave me a wonderful insight
Mm-hmm.
that if the national development can take place, if the rural development can take place in a sustainable manner, sustainable means where uh, you develop the nation along with human resources, then education probably is not only pivotal but a prerequisite for such sort of sustainable development. I
Right.
saw lot many opportunities in continuing in education, and Almighty blessed, Almighty helped. It is not so easy to find continued assignments, deputation assignments in all India services, but I was lucky that subsequent thereupon I got director in Central Tibetan School Administration, where it was a wonderful experience interacting with Tibetan government and understanding the ambitions of Tibetan children and their parents. Advisor 1 in All India Council of Technical Education was a great learning experience about technical education, how it is regulated, how it should be regulated, what are the regula. Then Registrar IIT Delhi definitely gave a wonderful insight about how an academic institution should be managed, how faculty is to be motivated, how an institution is able to do justice with its existence and can achieve the objectives for which it has been established.
Right.
With this background, when I went to government of Himachal Pradesh, after about 16 years of deputation, continued deputation with MHRD related organizations, I was again offered a position of education secretary, and I served, I think, at that position about 2 years. At that stage, it was a time when I realized that probably deemed universities or universities in private sector, there is a lot of scope if
Mm-hmm.
you land up in a good university where the leadership is visionary, where people have clarity of what they mean with education. Then I landed up here. I sought voluntary retirement and joined Graphic Era Deemed University. So I can say probably the reason to stay connected with education is the realization which I had somewhere in 1999, 2000, 2001, while associated with Navodaya Vidyalaya Samiti, that it offers you this domain, this education sector offers you great opportunity of making a substantial contribution to the development of the nation.
Right. Okay. Very well said, sir. So, the higher education in India and other foreign countries are structured very differently. So, in your recent experiences or from your experiences in higher education, what can be an inbound student gain from studying here at Graphic Era University?
You see, it is a very important issue. Even government of India is concerned about it. Concerned in the sense, as on date, probably not more than 50,000 foreign students are studying in our country. Not more than 50,000, though the target is to quadruple, is minimum 2 lakh by the year 2023. But the path is very steep. So, and another thing is that these students are also mainly from Africa, from South Asian nations, from Afghanistan, Nepal. I think more than 25% are from Nepal, only another 10% from Afghanistan. So there is a genuine requirement, there is a need to not only broad base the intake, we must at least target Asian, Southeast Asian nations, at least Vietnam, Thailand. These are the countries where we probably can be very successful. We have to make very concerted efforts. It not only brings some revenue, more important, it is improves the visibility of my academic system to the world. I must target Commonwealth states because I have English as a medium of instruction. I must be very specifically targeting the children of Indians settled abroad in America and Europe because they'll be very keen to stay in touch with their roots. Some concerted efforts have to be made. Now, what Indian education system offers to foreigners and why should they join me? There can be many reasons. One is, you see, why it has not happened is because a presumption is, and true to a great extent, that we are more theoretical with a very little practical exposure, and this has, with an emphasis on academia industry interactions and academia industrial collaborations, which have been targeted specifically by AICTE, UGC, and MHRD. Now institutions, they are licensing and they are coordinating with industry, providing relevant, updated, employable skills. My mode of communication, my mode of teaching is English, which language is very acceptable. I'm very cheap. I'm very cheap as compared to the cost of education in India is very cheap. And above all, my UG students, the type of presence they have made felt in Silicon Valley and in various organizations, in financial companies, that is unmatchable. I don't think if I'll be exaggerating if I say that today Silicon Valley is managed by my undergraduate students, and not only from IITs, but from average institutions, if I'm not using the wrong word, from many universities of my type. For example, my students are today placed in best of the companies holding very important positions. So that is why students can be targeted, and I must plan very strategically more students from foreign countries.
Very great, sir. So, when you first came to Graphic Era University, so what was your vision for the university, and how has it evolved over time, and how far along in implementing that vision you are right now?
You see, the strength I had when I took a decision to take a plunge with Graphic Era deemed university, the strength I had is I knew a lot about this university. I knew a lot because I was in AICTE. I have been getting a feedback from parents, from students, because that is a place where parents come. So, and then we come to have a feel of what type of institution it is. When sitting in regulatory bodies, you get many parents connecting you, requesting you कि साहब हमारा वहाँ पे admission करा दो. So Graphic Era deemed university is an established brand since last more than 20 years as an institution and later as a deemed university. I knew about it, and the strength of this institution, if I have to say, is that the promoter. You see, who is the promoter is very important. Exactly. The promoter here is himself an educationist who still teaches maybe 2 to 3 hours each day, who is involved in academic planning, who loves to be evaluated, and who is monitoring academics in the manner a routine faculty should monitor. That is the vision of the promoter, that education, the quality of education must not be compromised. So I knew about the vision, and the vision can be summarized in 3 words, or I think 4 words, which we use as our catchwords: transforming dreams into reality. So if I can identify the talent of a student, if I can give him commensurate dreams, facilitate imparting such skills that he can realize those dreams, that probably would be achieving the vision or the target I have kept. So the vision would be, as has been already defined in 4 crisp words by the management, transforming dreams into reality, giving dreams to the youth, providing a facilitating environment so as to transform those dreams into reality. But we aim at grooming the students in a very holistic manner. We groom them not only as technocrats, as knowledgeable persons who have knowledge about the core domain to which they belong to, but also who are employable, who are useful to the society, who are value-based individuals. And that is my vision, that we should be able to roll out from this university youth which will contribute to the development of the nation in true sense.
Very great, sir. And youth is the, I guess, next power of the country.
Yeah, I feel so. As I told earlier, that youth, it is the future, it holds the future. And the demographic edge I have, with more than maybe 50% in the age bracket, less than 45 years, with this demographic edge, if we fail, if the universities or the education system fails to harness this potential, probably it will be a serious loss.
Right, right, right. So, how does the curriculum of Graphic Era deemed university ensure the best practices of the industry?
Oh, very important question, rather a very relevant question. You see, as I told earlier, this realization that theoretical knowledge will not fetch employments, it will not make students employable. This realization is around last 2 decades old, and regulatory bodies, they have been putting in place many systems, mechanisms and platforms to ensure that institutions, they develop strong collaborations with the industry and ensure that latest industrial relevant skills are imparted. I, being a deemed university or deemed to be university, have an edge over traditional universities, government universities especially, because I can revise my curriculum any number of times.
Right.
Revision of curriculum is for a government university, a very difficult process, but for me, it doesn't take much time. There's a structured mechanism of revising or designing the curriculum. There's a board of studies of every department. It proposes new curriculum, new syllabus, it proposes updation and revision of curriculum, it proposes new courses, new subjects, new programs. Those recommendations come to Academic Council, again a body of the highest academic decision making, where besides our own professors, we have experts from outside. And we don't take more than 2 months, or rather less than that, once we decide that yes, these components are to be included in the curriculum. So through this mechanism, we ensure the participation, rather very effective participation of the industry. We have people from industry on our board of studies who regularly provide us a feedback about the latest skills relevant to industrial needs.
Right.
We have a dominating presence of industry in our academic council. There also we get their inputs. Our own alumni, they are very actively associated with that. We are holding regular meetings. We have a Canada chapter, America chapter, Pune chapter. We have so many chapters, despite being in addition to their being a central body. They are positioned at very strategic positions in the industry in India and abroad. They also keep us providing feedback, which we have again put in place a structured mechanism to obtain their feedback, which we keep plowing in while evolving the curriculum. You will be surprised to know, you will be happy to learn rather, that I have many faculty members from who earlier were with industry holding senior positions, who visit me as a visiting faculty, as a contractual faculty, adjunct faculty, who actually come and teach. So all these structured mechanisms which we have put in place ensure that the feedback of industry about the latest industrial requirements are known to us, and not only they are known to us, we also ensure that they are incorporated.
Okay, very well, sir. So, Graphic Era might be having some new initiatives, or maybe few things or few plans for the students, right? And so, what are those plans or those new initiatives that you would want the parents and the students to know outside Graphic Era University?
See, any initiative, and old or new, existing or being planned, revolves around one pivot, and that is, we have to be the best, my students have to be the best. So my academic processes, my teaching learning practices, our quality of projects, the focus we give to students' doing some research and producing papers, research papers. You will be happy to know that maybe more than 200 papers from my universities in good journals, Scopus indexed in SCI, Web of Sciences journals are being published out of students' projects.
Okay.
So anything which is best, anything which can improve the quality of academics is either the existing initiative or the initiative which is in the pipeline to be taken. Right now, the importance is we have realized Corona pandemic has thrown a very not difficult but a very different sort of challenge to our faculty: online teaching, online evaluation. When other universities, I won't name because that is not my objective, when they were faltering to implement online education, from day one we held a series of meetings, created IT platform, established very intimate connects with our students, and our online teaching started as effectively as if it was face to face. Likewise, when it came to holding examinations, we had a liberty of holding it or not holding it examinations. We could have promoted on the basis of previous performance of the students, but we, in our considered wisdom, our faculty decided that no, that should not work. We must subject them to evaluation, because if student they avoid evaluation, he will develop the habit of avoiding evaluation in his future also, and that doesn't work.
Right.
We have held our examinations as meticulously, as maybe as effectively as if these are face-to-face examinations. The timetable, the information, and the IT platforms, all those things were very seriously deliberated, conveyed, communicated, and it has been ensured that online teaching, learning, online pedagogy is in no way less than face-to-face. So that is the important plan I have in mind, because I fear that next semester may be online. I don't know, but I fear that it may be online. And having perceived so, we are discussing, we are deliberating day in and day out how our online education or online academics, online teaching, learning can be most effective. And I have a target. I have a clear vision of emerging to be the leader in online learning practices.
And I would agree to your point that Graphic Era was immediately ready for post the COVID pandemic came in, right? So I was in Dehradun few days back. This lockdown came in, and I was at Graphic Era University, and there was some kind of celebration in the university that day, right? So still I remember, despite of that celebration, Chairman Sir called in a meeting to discuss what to do about this COVID-19 thing now. So leaving all the things aside, he was more focused on how the students will be studying, how to send back students to their home, how to take care of the hostel, what to do, things related to sanitation. So I remember each and everything. The initiative.
There were detailed deliberations in how we are going to welcome our students back when they join us. We are ensuring, having engaged experts, we are ensuring that our hostels are sanitized in a manner, our classrooms, all our advisories related to COVID protocol. Once our students come and once their parents come, they will be very happy to see that their children, their wards are in very safe hands.
Right.
And I must tell you about that celebration, because that is an important achievement of my university. National Institution Ranking Framework, which is an MHRD initiative Government of India. They have declared rankings, online rankings of universities and engineering colleges, medical, pharmacy colleges, etc. were declared by Honorable Minister of Human Resource Development online. And you will be pleased to know that Graphic Era deemed university is a matter of profound privilege for us, owing to the contributions which our teachers have been making, because it takes care of contributions of last 3 years. Keeping those contributions and in view, NIRF has ranked us in top 100 in both the university category as also in engineering college category. I must also say that I am the only university in the state of Uttarakhand, including
Right.
government universities, including
Right.
government universities, including NITs. Let me
Right.
NIT Uttarakhand we have, and there are few NITs we have been ranked above them, and we are the only institution who are in top 100 in both these categories.
Right, sir.
So
Right,
that is
sir.
a very significant achievement, and through this interview, I would like to compliment my students because they will probably access this interview. They listen to this because their their contributions are also valued by NIRF. Because what type of graduates we are producing, what type of packages they are getting, what type of achievements they have made, all those things are also valued. So my students have also contributed a lot in helping me achieve that sort of ranking, and I must convey my thanks to them through this interview.
Right, sir. Very right, sir. And congratulations to you and
Thank you.
your team, sir. So, moving ahead, so what do you think your roles and responsibilities are towards the universities and students?
You see, the roles and responsibilities of a vice chancellor are very clear. Academic planning,
Hmm.
though HODs, our faculty has to be given a fair degree of autonomy, which we always give, but still academic planning, monitoring,
Mhm.
and then monitoring academic delivery. Most important is monitoring the development of curriculum. That is very important because
Right.
that is where the role of vice chancellor becomes very important. Staying in touch with senior people from academia, from other
Mhm.
institutions and industry, so as to develop an industry relevant curriculum. Then taking care of what are the recent trends. For example, rankings and ratings are a race now which has started and which is very important, being valued by parents while
Right.
deciding about institution for their students. I
Mhm.
must tell you another thing also. I am the only university, we are the only university which has been rated in diamond category, the only university rated in the diamond category by QS Gaze. That is
Mhm.
no mean achievement. So, Vice Chancellor's responsibility is to ensure that all these rankings and rating frameworks and keep participating in that, because it is not only getting rankings.
Right.
This participation gives you a lot of insight about what are the parameters valued by academy. That is very important.
Right.
So once we participate in these rankings or these ratings, we get a lot of insight about what we should be doing in
Mhm.
improving our systems, academic systems further.
Right. Right. So, any insights on how your university could be more welcoming to students of different races or economic backgrounds?
Economic backgrounds you asked?
Yes, sir.
You see, economic background, the university already has a system in place where some merit-based and mean-based scholarship are being given. I'll not be able to share the exact numbers or exact figures, but the university has always been giving scholarships and discounts
Mhm.
based on the merit of the student and the economic background.
Okay.
I know probably girls and the wards of ex-servicemen are also getting a substantial discount on their fee
Okay.
structure.
Okay.
Then, having realized that this corona pandemic will definitely drain the financial resources of the parents,
Mhm.
our management was aware of this issue. We have already tied up an arrangement where the students will be in a position to pay their fees through an EMI mode on a monthly basis, so that they are not under some undue constraint while paying their tuition fees.
Mhm.
So, and above all, need-based fellowships. I have seen, at least I get sanctioned from the management not less than 40, 50 such applications where 100% fees discount is being allowed to students, keeping in view the facts and circumstances of case. Someone loses an earning member of his or her family. So once the student comes, we are very considerate. And at least I'm telling you, not less than 50, 60 cases, we are allowing 100% discounts in such cases.
Right.
So we are cognizant of such needs of the students and take appropriate action as and when the need arises.
That is very great, sir. So, moving on to the next question. So, the next question is very important as I believe that it holds a great value in holding the pillars of any university. So, how do you tend to establish a healthy relation and an environment in your university?
See, this question is very important, though it has come probably at the fag end, but it is very important because unless there is an academic ambience, unless there is a congenial environment in the academic campus, unless teachers are in very comfortable relationship with each other, it is very difficult to deliver because environment matters.
Right.
We have many such platforms where we engage effectively with teachers at department level, at university level. We have realized that most important thing for a faculty member is this career advancement. So not only that we recruit quality teachers, most of my teachers you will find their doctorates from quality institutions. There are many from foreign universities, NITs, IITs, and I'm proud of them. But we don't forget them after recruiting them. We keep ensuring many activities which leads to their career progression, which is very important, and a satisfied individual will never create problem. So this is one important strategy through which we maintain academic ambience. But we have put in place interdisciplinary activities, many research groups where faculty members from different departments they work as a team. That also is very important. There are many research groups or research areas, I'll say, where teachers from different departments identify with a particular research area and work as a team. So all such mechanisms or all such activities ensure that there is a very intimate relationship amongst teachers. We do have a concept of engaging not only with the faculty members but also with their families.
Right.
Monthly picnics or our tech fests and our graph fest, our cultural events, we ensure that faculty members are as welcome as the faculty is. So it leads to a family type of environment, and that is how I maintain a congenial environment in my campus.
That is very great, sir. So it's very important to keep your faculty members happy. Only then, I guess, the students can be happy in any university.
And I forgot telling you, there are many schemes. For example, research award scheme. You publish a paper, you get awarded. Not only in the form of cash, but also as in the form of a better increment, better than others. You get a wonderful feedback from your students. Based on your teaching feedback, you get many awards. So all these things keep my faculty in a motivated and productive state of mind.
Right. So I would also want you to throw some light on the extracurricular activities for students you're having in your university.
You see, I'll tell you, these activities which earlier were known as extracurricular, I view them as co-curricular activities, co-scholastic activities, because the moment I use the word extracurricular, it is something extra to teaching. To me, these are co-to teaching. Unless these happen, teaching cannot be effective. So these activities, these co-scholastic activities are very important to keep a student in a fresh state of mind. You can't always keep him locked down in his library or in his hostel room. No, that is important. But he also has to be mingling with his peers, play games, participate in various activities. So there are many clubs, and any student can join any club keeping in view his interest, declamation and debate and robotics and dramatics, and there are so many clubs. So students, they participate in those clubs, and these clubs are steered mainly by the students themselves. There is only a faculty coordinator whose role is only to coordinate the things, but the steering of the activities, the planning of the activities is done entirely by the students. It has helped them in other way also. It helps to develop leadership capabilities amongst the students and team building. I have seen it happening. Once students they start participating in such activities, they start inculcating team building, working as part of a team, and leadership style communication, etc., etc. So these activities are many. Besides, there are annual tech fairs. There's a wonderful graph fest where probably it is known not only in the state of Uttarakhand but also Uttar Pradesh and maybe NCR. Graph fest is probably one of the best cultural fest in the country, and students, we keep, and then there are many tournaments, many games, students and matches among students and faculty members, etc., which are very common in any other college, but uh, we organize such activities in a very planned manner, so that a student keeps himself engaged in such activities beside academics.
Very great, sir. So, what do you think should be the university's top priority over the next 10 years?
University's top priority over next 10 years, another 10 years, and maybe next 100 years should remain the one to be at the top, to be amongst the best so far as academic excellence is concerned amongst the institutions in this country. That is the top priority, because having decided it to be my top priority, probably I am stating many things. Once I say that I want to be the best one, what I am saying is I want to recruit the best faculty, I want to recruit the best students, I want to put in place the best teaching learning practices, I want to ensure that there are international collaborations, there are collaborations with the academy and industry, because all these lead to academic excellence, and without these academic excellence cannot be achieved. So my target would be for next years is that I want to be amongst top 50. I would love to say top 30, but let me not sound very ambitious, but I must be in top 40 institutions in the country 10 years down the line.
Right.
2030. My target is very crisp. Next year I want to be in top 75. Next year I want to be in 50. That is clear for next 2 years. I know beyond 50, the race becomes very difficult, because then your peer, these become IITs and NITs and other central universities and very good institutions. Right. So you have to be very, very well prepared. So I am targeting a position amongst first 40, 10 years down the line. Right. In NIRF 2030, I'll request you also to pray Almighty to bless us to be amongst first 40 in the country.
For sure, sir, we'll do that. Okay, sir. So moving ahead to our last question. So any suggestions you would like to give to the current youth and the aspiring students?
Okay, that is important. You see, there can be many messages. A youth can be given many messages, but today I'll focus only on one message. You see, we understand that the times are not very convenient, are not very comfortable. You are locked down probably in your houses, you are closed down in your room, and then probably also feeling the heat and burden of online teaching, online examination. You are devoid of the company which you have been enjoying when you were at campus. These were the times when, looking from my room, I used to see thousands of students. It was a very vibrant campus. Even I sometimes feel, how to get that sort of vibrance again. I can understand their state of mind. And with this in view, I will request the students to keep one thing in mind, that times never remain the same. वो time नहीं रहे तो ये time भी नहीं रहेंगे. It is a question of only maybe 2 or 3 more months. Just right. 2 or 3 more months. They'll keep holding their nerves. They must stay focused. They should not feel having lost out. They should not feel in any manner dejected, demotivated or depressed. We will ensure that your academics, that the duration of your degree will not be allowed to suffer in any manner. I assure my students through this interview that in no way their skill set would be affected. How we will do it? Let time come. There are many plans with us which we will roll out as and when the time permits. I'll request them, the message I wish to give them is that stay in a positive frame of mind, which in fact is an essential characteristic of a graphian. For students, our graphic era students are known for the confidence and for the courage they have shown in difficult times. I must tell you, I am the university where maybe more than 5,000 students are donating blood every year. I have
Very.
seen hospitals living. Kisab, now we don't have any capacity to store the blood. Just one call and you will find students thronging for anything related to social cause. They are very different students. I'll remind them to keep remembering the institution to which they belong to keep remembering the strength. When Kedarnath tragedy took place, I can't narrate the type of contribution my students made in those difficult terrain and those difficult times. So I'll just like to remind them their character, their courage, and request them again to stay focused and assuring once again that in no way their careers will be adversely affected because of this corona pandemic.
Very great, sir, and very rightly said. This is the time where you need to stay positive.
Yes, very important. Very important.
And you need to keep your mental health and physical health equally active along with your positivity. Only
Yes,
then you'll be able to go ahead in your life and achieve.
They must keep engaging in some physical activities because here they were I will not find. I have state of the art gym, state of the art a badminton court of international standards, actually international standards. And I have seen students jostling for space in the gym and in our playground, in badminton court, in my volleyball, basketball court. They were so they have been physically very active. Somehow they should keep themselves physically active also, because that is also important. Physical health is very important to maintain mental health. Thank you for reminding me, and this is an important message I like to give to students also.
Right. And whenever I used to come to the campus along with my colleague, I used to always say him, "Chal yaar, let's go and play cricket and football. Yaar, see the students are playing."
I can see my cricket ground from here. What a lovely sight, a green ground. And I know I hope that within 2 months we will again find same type of vibrance in my campus.
Well, I'm also actually dying to come back to Dehradun. So I handle regions Punjab, Uttar Pradesh, Haryana, right? So, and Himachal Pradesh and Uttarakhand. So I haven't been able to go to Himachal as of now. And but whenever I used to come to Dehradun, it used to be a very peaceful journey for me, a peaceful trip. I used to be busy from day till night doing meetings, but it still used to be very peaceful in the end, because the campuses, the positivity you get here at Dehradun and specifically at Graphic Era University is exceptional.
So it seems you are fond of mountains and trekking, and if so, Himachal you must go. But I will invite you to my Bhimtal campus of my sister university, Graphic Era Hill University, which is known to be the 7th best beautiful campus. I'll request you to visit our campus, Bhimtal campus of Graphic Era Hill University. It is to be seen, to be believed. What a beautiful site it is. What a beautiful campus.
For sure, sir. For sure. Once the lockdown and the pandemic thing is down, I'm for surely going to come to Dehradun. We'll go to Bhimtal together.
We'll move to.
Done, sir. Okay, so thank you so much for your insightful and thoughtful interview, sir. So everyone, this was Professor Dr. Rakesh Sharma, Vice Chancellor, Graphic Era University. So we are signing off for now. We'll meet you soon. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, Kunal. So nice.